Okay.
Smiling at our death.
All right.
Right at the end of the campaign.
Oh, and that's how we open up. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quill and Sword. We apparently disconnected at one point while the thing was going, and I don't know what happened, but I have all the settings here, and it seems to be working, so let me know if something isn't working, please. That would be very important to know. That being said, hi. We are going to get started, but before we do, a couple disclaimers. Firstly, this is a dark fantasy game, so if you don't like horror elements or dark things or political conflict, maybe not your jam. Full disclosure. We love Syrinscape around here because it makes sound effects, it makes music, we use it for things, so that's pretty awesome. And things that are not awesome and are definitely conflict, speaking of, real quick. And we don't want to be super tone deaf, but so Wizards did a racism, and that was not great. And so we all kind of discussed it and decided, since it doesn't really pertain to our campaign, we're going to continue using 5e. We are going to continue with this. We do not condone racism. And we present it in game as an evil because it is an evil. And so that is how we're going to leave that. So be good to people and don't be stupid. That's really all I've got. Now we're going to roll a d4 to let our lovely players introduce themselves, their characters, and recap where we're at. Okay, that's Marissa.
Oh, man. Okay. So, our characters met a lot of people during last session, and I do remember we went to an elven village. It was a village, correct? Of sorts, in the woods, and we found out that their healer had been kidnapped in some capacity, or that it was lost in some way. And because we always got to be the big damn heroes, that's kind of where we chose we were going to go. But we did some fantastic bartering. We got some potions, I remember, as well as some snacks, which was Nim's number one concern, as always. And so from there, I'm going to pass it to Robin.
Oh, I was not expecting to go this early. Okay, so what I remember is I do remember going into the shop, and I remember all of us making checks to find things and being told that if we can stop the disease that's like running rampant in this village, that we can just like have a thing, which is pretty cool. So, you know, we're trying real hard to fix this problem, this illness that's like causing people to go all warg and stuff. SENITA.
So, wait, did we find the map before or after the shop? When we opened it, I can't remember.
You found it. You found the map in the healer's cart in their tent.
So after we got all of our equipment, we set out, and of course we got lost, ironically, with the moon elf who didn't know her way in the woods. And we set up camp, and during the night, of course, we were attacked by these werewolf-looking things, and a battle ensued. And we learned that it was attacked by magic. It's boosted by magic, so we have to melee it. And it took our NPC away, and I will pass it off to Vera.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much there is to add to that. The NPC was probably like bit of metagame. The NPC was probably not supposed to die, but he rolled a nat 1. And so he's the guy who was actually our introduction to the village, first guy we met, came with us on this, is dead. He has no head anymore. He's gone. And I don't think we killed the one that showed up. I think we got it close to death, but now there are more showing up. And we have already been on the ropes from one of these things. So it's been nice seeing y'all, everybody.
So full disclosure, you did in fact kill the one. So that did actually happen. I have no idea why that happened. That was not supposed to happen. Hold on.
It's not fight music.
No, it's not. I don't know why
I thought
that...
maybe we had stumbled into like a honky tonk, and
no.
I was excited for that.
So
roleplay.
The monsters start doing a hoedown.
Yeah.
I just hit a
Line
random
dancing.
button.
Nim can win.
I hit a random button on accident. I meant to hit a different thing. So we're going to go into our intro now and not the hoedown from the Bayou. All right, so we are back. We are better than ever. We are going to go straight into our intense moment. So you guys see this this large, lanky creature. It's built almost like a gorilla, but it has these clawed paws. They're like Wolverine claws. The animal, not the superhero. And you see that it has this face that's emaciated and the skin peeling back to reveal the bony skull. And it has these antlers that are coming up that cast this almost tree-like silhouette. Its massive torso and massive legs meet in the middle at this very narrow stomach that its waist is just so incredibly small. It looks very emaciated. I'm trying to adjust the music here. Here we go. I think that's right. I'm trying to get this music just a little bit because it's a lot right now. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you guys are facing this thing. It is a new initiative because something has changed in the combat in a big way. Everyone is up though, and kind of near the exit to this round circular stone divot in the ground, basically. It's got about a 20-foot wall that goes up, so you can't really scale the wall, but you wouldn't want to because standing at the top is this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
Run away!
Oh gosh, it rolled really well.
Steven's cheating.
13.
Okay.
16.
10.
What's mine? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. What is your modifier?
It's +2.
Okay. So
He also got a dirty 20, didn't it?
I did, but it has a +3. So It beats anew.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yep. It's a good thing you got some spaghetti. It reminds you of guts that will spill out of you. It's almost Halloween. I'm already on the train. I'm sorry. All right.
Whole season is Halloween. I don't know what you're talking about.
So I need to explain something about this creature. It does critically hit on a 19 or a 20, and I rolled a 19. And so I'm going to roll a d4 to determine who it attacks because it's doing its leap attack. And that means it lands on somebody. Okay, it's going after Masquerade.
I'm
Alright,
telling
come
you,
at me, bro.
if he gets one more good roll, he's trying to end the campaign. You can't convince me otherwise.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, so you take 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Oh, that's not nearly as bad as I thought.
Yeah, I rolled a lot of ones.
Thank God.
So, you take
I am
12
not on the
bludgeoning
floor.
damage as this creature, and it lands and it smashes straight on top of you. You are prone.
Okay.
And that is all it can do right now because it moved really far. So,
These things eat magic, right?
yes, they do.
Okay.
Anu, it's your turn. You've got a large creature on Masquerade.
Hey. I want to. I guess I'll just shoot it. With my crossbow.
Okay.
I'm gonna take an inspiration.
Okay. Everybody starts with one every session. We also don't have a cap on how many you can accrue.
16.
16. Okay. It does not hit.
I'm gonna use
As you fire your crossbow, you realize that the crossbow actually sticks into the thing, but this thing has much more like dense musculature, and it's actually resistant. So functionally, you didn't hit it, but you hit it, but it just is beefier.
So now it absorbs magic and it can't be hit with melee?
No, it can be hit with melee. It just has a very high armor class. So, Masquerade, it's your turn.
My bonus action.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I forgot. I almost robbed our rogue of a bonus.
Right? Okay, just try the other crossbow.
Okay. On the plus side, Masquerade is adjacent to it.
Alright, dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
Oh, so adjacent means sneak attack.
Uh-huh.
Do I have enough dice on me? No. Forget it, I'll just roll it in here. Alright. That was loud. $27.
27, huh? That will add 27 damage, you said?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, that sneak attack was 21.
Man. Okay. Yeah, you are... That is impressive. Okay. So you hit the creature, and this time you go towards the center of the chest, and you actually hit it, and it sticks. And the creature
my arrow.
lets out this... And you realize that it sounds almost like it has like 4 different howls at different volumes, one of which is really thunderous and dolorous, and one which is really high-pitched, almost like a screech. And Masquerade, now it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to use half my movement to stand up
Okay.
because I can do that. Guys, we really need to go. Please run. And then I'm gonna hit it to keep its focus on me so that they can get away. Please
Okay.
do not waste this. Flurry of Blows takes a key point, and let me see how much key I have left. Because it's been a bit. Okay. I will spend a point of key to Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
Okay, screw that. I'm using Inspiration.
Okay.
19 to hit.
19 will hit it. You beat it by 1.
Okay, so 17 will not hit then.
Right. 17 just misses.
25.
Absolutely hits.
That's gonna be 9 total bludgeoning damage.
9.
Yeah.
Chipping away at its health there.
Oh.
So you
That's
punch,
Really
punch,
trying
punch.
to hurt it so much as I am trying to keep its attention on me so they can get away.
You see that the bare patchy spots where there was where there isn't fur, you're hitting there to kind of like not get the fur softening the blow, and when you do, you see you're leaving bruises, but it's just, you know, the creature is so decrepit as it is, you're not sure how much that actually does. So, do you have anything else you want to do?
Run away.
That was not at me, right?
Yeah, it was at you. Do you have anything else?
Okay,
you
well
wanna
then
do?
no, that's all I got.
All right, Wisp, you're up.
How far away is this thing from where I'm at right now?
It is right up near you. So, we'll say you can be as much as 30 feet away if you want.
Can we try to bury it again?
Well, the problem is I don't think I can pull that off without, you know, because he's under the ledge, so I could theoretically try and use Earth Tremor to bring the wall down on it, but Masquerade's going to get buried with it.
You do have, I think you still have those mana potions too, don't you?
At this point, one of us dying is better than all of us dying. I'm fine with this.
Yes, we
Yeah,
still have the mana potions.
Yes, given that it eats magic, I'm not sure why that helps.
No, just for your spell slots if you're running low.
Oh, spell slots aren't my concern. Burying my friend is my concern.
Isn't
Valid.
there a way to dodge? Like, oh, do we have reactions? Do you have dodge?
I can.
So, all right. Here's my question, Steven.
Okay.
What level would you need me to cast Earth Tremor at to the rock wall behind it to bring as much of it down on top of this thing as possible?
Without hitting Masquerade?
Ideally, yeah.
Okay, I would have you make either Arcana or Investigation, your choice. And
Okay.
I would say that the DC would be, you can choose to do half your damage and get a lower DC of 15, or you can shoot for an 18 DC and do full damage.
And this is what based off the Arcana check?
Yes. So you're shooting
Okay.
for one of 2 DCs, and you gotta tell me which one you're trying to hit.
I want to do full damage on this thing.
Okay.
So I'm going for the higher one, and I'm using Arcana.
Okay.
23.
23. Okay. So describe what this looks like.
Okay, so Wisp is going to close whatever distance it takes to get up to the rock wall and just backhands it. And a rumble goes through it, a sort of crack forming upwards to the bit that is overhanging this creature, which then breaks apart and comes down.
Okay, and you see these stones start falling on the creature. And so, because you did full damage, I need you to roll 5 d10s for me.
Damn.
5 d10. Okay, this is going to take me a minute.
I got a 7. No.
I'm ready to here.
I love if you're not using
30
behind. It's just
30.
Yes.
So it takes 30 damage as you guys watch these boulders collapse on top of it, and it is also prone. So it is hurting right now.
Yeah,
but it's still up and it's not bloodied yet.
Oh, for God's sake.
Part of it is supposed to be buried, right? Yeah.
It is buried though, so that is in your benefit. So at this point, I am now going to need Nim to go, unless you have a bonus action you want to do.
Yeah. Let me. I want to assign a new as my dance partner.
Okay.
Going forward.
Yeah. I thought that was
all right. Easy to do. And is that all you're doing?
That's what? Hold on. I think that counts as my bonus action, assigning that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because anything else I would want to do would be a bonus action. I already did it.
Okay. Nim, you're up.
Okay, so the creature is buried, but still kicking. And we are kind of in a cluster-ish situation near to said creature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're kind of bottlenecked right now at the exit of this enclosure that was a safe campsite until you realized it ate magic and could eat the hut.
Yeah.
I'm still bitter about that.
It was a good hut. I am out of oratory dice, so Nim is just gonna say, "Let's go!" and point.
Haven't you had a short rest?
I didn't even notice that.
No, because didn't we
we had a long rest.
No, it counted. Our rest wasn't interrupted. We got to take the rest.
Yeah.
I know, but like I used them all when we were fighting the original one.
Oh, okay. You already
and
then
then
through them all
immediately Steven comes at us with another Wendigo skinny guy thing. I don't know what it is. So
actually, you guessed it.
I thought it was.
The Slender Boy.
Wendigo Slender Boy. Yeah, so Nim is just going to encourage everybody to run while the creature is incapacitated.
Okay. Are you going to run as well?
I'm going to start going that way, looking back like, come on, guys, come on.
Okay. All right. So you are getting away. It is its turn. So the monster gets to go. And we're going to see if the poor baby monster can break out of the
poor baby monster,
yes.
Steven.
Yeah.
I love my monsters.
That's bigger than the one.
I rolled a 4
Steven's
on
baby
the die.
boy.
What? Sorry.
Oh.
I rolled a 4 on the die, so.
Oh, good.
You see that the rock pile's kind of like it's trying to get out, but it's not succeeding. It's having trouble getting purchase. So you guys have a round. Anu, what are you doing?
Can I create light arrows and blow up some more rocks? I'm kidding.
You have firebolt.
No, it was a Legend of Zelda joke when you hit Ganon with the light arrow.
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
I mean, can I firebolt the rock and run away? That's my bonus.
It'd be fire. So it's, but if you want to try to make it like a firework, I would say that I'd let you roll damage against the rock to see what you do.
All right, let's do it. Let's try to hit the rock. Some more. Bury it some more. 15.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Do I get sneak attack against the rock?
No.
No, you don't get sneak attack against the rock. The rock doesn't have
I'm pretty
a
sure that
discernible
rock was
anatomy.
unaware this was gonna happen. That's all I'm saying.
16.
16. Okay. So you actually shoot your firebolt. Describe how this looks.
I am going to break off one of the arrow tips and fling it like a Molotov cocktail at more of the rocks.
Okay.
And yeah, it's gonna go off in balloon fire.
Oh, balloon fire. Okay. And actually that balloon fire does manage to kind of shove a boulder so it's teetering for a second and then just kind of adds on to that weight. And I'll increase the DC for this creature's escape by 1.
Yeah. Yay! And as my bonus action, I'm gonna peel away.
Okay, you can easily pace Nim because you are a moon elf and moon elves are fast. So
On your left.
So is that your whole round?
Yep.
Okay, Masquerade, what are you doing?
Does it?
The dash action.
What were you saying, Senita?
I was gonna say, does the bonus action still count for being a dance partner? What I did, or?
Yes,
I
it
mean,
does,
I
actually.
could have taken action, but like all I'm gonna be doing is running. So.
Oh, okay.
But like in that moment, I wouldn't have because Wisp would have stayed put until they were certain that Masquerade is actually moving their ass.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
So, Masquerade, you said you're dashing, right?
Yeah, I'm dashing.
So, you're fast, you're a monk, so you actually can...
I can go 80 feet this round if I really want to, but I don't want to outpace the group, so
Okay.
I'm staying with the group.
So, you're caught up with everybody real easily. So, Wisp, it comes to you.
Yeah, no, I'm out of here.
All right. And so, at this point, I'm going to say that if you guys keep running, you can make it out of combat.
Yay!
Is that something you want to do?
No, we want to stay and fight the damn thing. No, yes, keep it running.
Just gotta double check. So, in that case, you guys make it into the forest. Let's turn that down a little bit. So, yeah, you make it out. And you are now just chilling. You can catch your breath after a minute. So, what do you choose to do?
I want to. Sorry to jump in front, but I have Cure Wound, and I'm gonna use that on Mask.
Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna do it at level 1. No. Okay. Stop doing that. Good. And that's a 7.
7. Okay. So, Masquerade, you get 7 health back.
You.
So I'm going to advise that we not do that again, because based off the way that thing was behaving around magic, I would not be shocked if the hut that I made was part of what drew them to us. They might actually be drawn to magic. So, like, let's maybe not right now.
Get on my level, team.
So, I want whoever was in the lead of the group to make a survival roll.
That was him.
Was I fast enough to be in the lead?
We all
You said
kept
on your
pace.
left.
Yes,
Okay.
Well,
but keeping pace.
we would not have, like, because it was buried, we did not have reason to outpace you.
Fair enough. Okay. Survival check, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Don't fail me now. 23.
Okay, 23. So, You you run through the woods, and you start to realize as you're running that these trees are growing around these mountainous sort of ridges and things. You duck under some ridges that make like overpasses a little bit. You know, you get into these thicker wooded areas just to get away from the creature because it's so large, right? In your mind, as you're running, that's the best way to get away. And when you eventually stop, you start to realize as you're catching your breath and everybody's kind of recovering that you're in more of a clearing right now. It's weird. It's like the thick brush sort of grows into these walls that sort of form almost like a high, very high canopied sort of hallway. And you see that there are some of these stones that are, these vines and roots are grown around. They have carvings on them. And as you notice this, anyone who wants to can try to make a investigation or perception.
Perception.
11.
17.
16.
Nat 1.
Okay. Anyone who got a 15 or better will notice blood. Like dried blood that has dripped from these carvings that look like strange symbols. What languages does everyone speak?
Sylvan.
Elvish, Dwarvish, Goblin. And I can also do that, what is it called? Talk around. But I can't right now, because I need to rest.
Elvish and... Thieves can't.
Okay.
Common, Elvish, and Dwarvish.
So, I need New and Wisp. You guys, as you're looking at these sorts of things, Wisp, you're kind of drawn to it even though you rolled your nat 1. You see they're really clearly staring at this, right?
Yeah.
Between you and Anu, you can piece together that this is some sort of cipher in Sylvan.
Okay.
And that it seems to be leading people to a place. What sort of
That
place?
place?
You're not sure.
That was my big question.
But it looks like if you could follow these bloodied sigils to somewhere.
Can I figure out the cipher?
Make an investigation check.
Nope, not at all. I got a 6.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give it a shot since I can read it.
Sure.
16.
16. Okay. So as you are investigating these different sigils, you begin to realize what it keeps talking about the nesting place, the breadbasket. And you begin to realize that this is some sort of a sanctuary that you're going to. Some sort of a hiding grove of some sort.
I mean, I'll relay that information to the group. Anybody want to flip a coin on whether that's the best or the worst place for us to be going right now? Because I could make an argument either way.
I wonder if I can pull a trance out of this necklace I got.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You grabbed it off
Oh, yeah.
The first one.
the first one.
Do you have any divination spells in your repertoire?
I have just absorb elements and charm person would be the closest.
Nope, so no divination. So you would know that you've heard of elves who can pull sort of like a vicarious trance using an object, but it always requires some form of divination. And you know that it also kind of breaks the rules of magic anyway, and can be very dangerous to do.
Danger is my middle name.
But if you don't know any divination spells, it is actually impossible to do. But you do have the necklace. In fact, pick even or odd.
Even. Even Steven.
Okay. You notice that the sigil on the necklace is the same as one of the sigils.
This is either a good thing or a bad thing. And I place the necklace right next to the sigil.
That feels like a bad thing.
Yeah,
Like, my gut instinct is that wherever these things lead is at the very least caught up in what's going on, if not the origin point.
Sanctuary has been tainted.
Yeah. Yeah, it would seem.
Would it not stand to reason then that we should go there and figure out what it is that went wrong?
That is what we're here to do.
I mean, unless you want to run, we could always run. We could go get food instead.
What if there are more of those things?
We should bring back an army.
I'm not sure it would help. All right, I feel like we should look into this, but like, let's not barrel in. Let's really tiptoe into this thing.
I was about to ask if we were heroes or rogues today, and I guess the answer is both.
Oh! Sneak a snake.
So, as you guys tiptoe forward, you realize that this forest and these barky roots and these vines that are all sort of woven together into these makeshift walls that rise at least 30 feet at the lowest points, and in some places as high as 60. And you just keep weaving through this labyrinth of trees, finding different sigils along the way. And Wisp, you can pick up bits and pieces of spells, but they're not spells like you would cast. These are old spells. These are spells that don't follow the known laws of magic. They talk about pricking the dream of a child and pulling out their innocence. They talk about finding your lover, plucking a hair, and using that hair to grant a wish. These sorts of very old, very ancient, sort of mythical magics that are only whispered by your people in specific, and only in the darkest corners or in the places with the most ominous of tales. And at one point you hear mention of taming that which hungers.
Are there any further details on that specific aspect of it?
It seems that a lot of these other spells are things that you would learn to lead up to taming that which hungers, which is sort of the big penultimate ritual that could be done in this place. Or maybe it already was. The actual tenses and wording of the Sylvan language make it hard to tell. Sylvan by nature is sort of always very enigmatic, very twisted in how you could interpret things. By its very nature, it's very malleable.
I'm as we work our way through, I am going to be keeping an eye on these things, especially like I don't think we have the time for me to go over everything in detail, but anything that feels like it's related to or could clarify that, I'm kind of keeping an eye out for.
Okay, give me an investigation check or perception, your choice.
I will never choose to roll perception if you give me another option.
Mine's the opposite way.
12.
12.
12.
You do come across a single massive stone slab. It's almost like an obelisk, but it's overgrown and kind of hedged in this wall of bark. And you see there are lines that allude to the mother of hubris, the spirit of hatred, and the worm of hunger. And for those of you who grew up in human culture, you would know that the Octheon religion teaches that the three ultimate sins are hatred, hubris, and hunger.
All right, can I just pause for a second and say that hunger as a sin is actually really fucked. It's not gluttony, but hunger. That's fucked up.
It is. It is incredibly fucked up.
Anyone who wants to can roll a religion check to know more.
I was gonna say, can I either do a history or religion check to put any of this into context?
I just rolled a nat 1, so Nim has no idea what's going on.
I got a 17.
Is religion the only option, or can I try for history?
I'll let you try for history, but at a higher DC.
How much higher?
2.
I'll still take it.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So, what did a new in Masquerade get? You kind of spoke at the same time.
17.
17?
Same.
Okay. So, all of you would know that hatred is specifically talking about the disdain of others and the lack of empathy for people. So not necessarily even just malice, but the lack of empathy. Hubris is not specifically any pride, but it is the pride that usurps reality or usurps some sort of perceived order of things that is appropriate, good, right, or virtuous. And hunger is not like you're hungry. Hunger is like allowing a desire to consume you in the way that starvation does. You would also know that these three ultimate sins must be done willingly, and the religion believes that you must consent to these and knowingly do them in order for them to be considered a vice. And that means, by extrapolation, that whoever did whatever here probably chose it.
The main question for me around all this is whether the healers that we're trying to find fell prey to these things, or are these things? I just don't know why that would happen. But I've just got a bad feeling that it might be what happened. Where does, like, If we were to continue following, are we at the end of where these sigils lead, or is there further to go?
There is further to go. Also, I need to know everybody's passive perception.
13.
I'm pretty sure mine
200.
is 12, but I'll check when I get back to the computer.
Okay.
Mine is 20.
Oh, wow. Okay.
11.
It is indeed 12.
Okay. So, I need, well, I'm just going to give this to, Anu. So, Anu, hold on one second.
Are we sharing secrets again?
Yes.
The mystery.
Okay, I'm going to send
Yes,
you
type
a
it on
personal
Bible over
message
there.
on Zoom. I just got it typed out. I wanted to make sure I got the exact part of it right. And I realized I had a typo. So,
Same, Roman, same.
there we go. You find a piece of crumpled up paper. And it's torn and wet and almost ruined. But you know that these words are what you can make out. There are more words, but they're either ruined, torn off, or otherwise you can't really make them out.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna read it out loud.
Okay.
The humans came. They pillaged and slaughtered. Blood runs in the streets. Women, children, dead. We have nothing but our numbers have. We must. And the rest is lost in debris.
They did this to themselves because they thought it was what they had to do to stop encroaching humans.
All magic comes with a price.
Wait a minute. Nim is very slow on the uptake on this. So you're saying those creatures left that note and made themselves the skinny boys so that... Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
And I can't say I blame them. I did make a deal with the hag to save my own people.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm inclined to think this is how it went down. There's precedent in the immediate area.
Whew. Whew.
Didn't they act like this had just started recently?
They acted like this had. We didn't talk to them about whether or what else was going on, whether humans were encroaching or anything like that. I think we might be missing some other context.
Anu,
Sounds to me that. Oh, yeah.
your passive perception is high enough too. You can see metal underneath some of the vines. Just glinting golden metal.
I'm gonna go dig underneath the vines while continuing to speak. My guess is they chose their sins to get rid of the humans and didn't realize after getting rid of the humans they were gonna live a cursed life. And now they're infecting other people. And that's what we came here to stop. That's what they know.
For my money, they knew that this would happen to them, but they may not have known it was going to spread.
Yeah. Can I dig out the metal?
Yeah,
Okay.
you actually find that it looks almost like a door handle.
So are we going?
And you kind of move, you kind of like tear the vines away, and you realize there's a door here.
Interesting. Wonder what we're gonna find down here. Anyone opposed to me opening this door?
Should we knock? It just seems, polite. We don't. I'm just saying it's.
I definitely think we should open the door. I'm not sure what else we would do at this point.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay. You open the door, and you find a run down and a little bit torn up, but mostly intact kitchen dining area of a small house.
Interesting.
What do you do?
I investigated, I suppose.
Okay. It is dark in here, so anyone without dark vision will need light. But because there's no windows or anything, you do see a window in the corner, but it's overgrown with vines.
I'm gonna make my way over to the window and cut me up some vines because I can see.
Okay. You cut up the cut up the vines that are creeping in through the window, and you realize underneath is layers of bark and woven roots.
I really hope I don't end up regretting this, but I will cast some dancing lights around.
Okay. So you cast some dancing lights around, and let me see. You see, well, you don't see. Anu sees, because she has the highest passive perception. Rippling air moving from the kitchen up the stairway.
Like smoke.
Like if you were super good at perceiving somebody who cast invisibility.
Oh, yay! I'm gonna tackle the shit out of that invisible thing.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Oof. It's a 3.
A 3.
I don't know if I have any more inspiration. I lost track.
I would love to encourage you, but I have no encouragement left. Can I give her my inspiration?
Yes, you can give her your inspiration.
Anu. Feel
How do you
inspired.
inspire her?
I said, well, Anu, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. That's what I always tell the kids.
Yep. 15.
Okay,
Wait,
so...
hang on.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, I just realized I never added my modifier. It wouldn't matter anyway. But adding my modifier now would be... Because this is unarmed attack, right?
Yeah.
21.
Okay. So, you leap and miss whatever you were trying to hit. You spring back with your acrobatic prowess. And you almost hit what's like if you were a magnet being repelled by something. But you still go through it. But there was resistance there. And for the briefest glimpse, you see a silhouette of a woman. Human. Dark skin, long braided hair, simple clothing. as she starts walking up the stairs and vanishes again into the rippling air. You can still perceive just a little bit because you're wildly good at that.
It is broken. I'm going to. So many things here. I want to. Hang on. No. I'm gonna give chase.
Okay. So you give chase. It's not hard to do. She's walking. Like just straight up walking. And catch up to her pretty easily. You, as you get within 5 feet, you realize you can see her clearly. You see her form, and she's just going through the motions of folding some clothes that are on a bedside. Doesn't seem to notice you at all.
I want to do a swoosh through, see how solid.
Okay.
If I get more resistance.
So you encounter resistance when you try to put your hand through her, but you can feel it now that there is resistance there, and your hands actually illuminate just a little bit as you go through her. She just keeps going through the motions of whatever's happening.
God, what is this? A haunted house?
And those of you who are downstairs, make perception rolls, with Anu having recently just gone upstairs. She didn't tell you why, mind you. She tried to tackle a thing and then went upstairs.
10.
15, 10. Five. So, Nim, you see rippling air in the kitchen area. And you hear this voice, almost like in your mind, not in your ears. It says, "Wow, Mama, something smells really good tonight."
Did anybody else hear that?
Hear what?
There's a child?
I did not hear a child, no.
I don't think I heard it either, but I heard it. It's not here, but it's here. This isn't making any sense.
No, not really.
Can I move toward, or I want to move towards kind of where you said I saw the rippling air and kind of
Okay.
feel around.
So when you get within 5 feet, you see a child, dark skin, braided hair. He seems to be like trying to reach for something on the stove, and just doesn't even notice you. When you try to touch, resistance, but that's it. A little bit of glowing on your hands. Wisp, you can perceive when Nim reaches out, there's just a little bit of light in a certain spot that illuminates her hand just a little bit with this eerie blue tinge. And you swear you could see her skeleton beneath her skin, just briefly.
All right, so something's definitely going on. That's weird. Something that would help.
Hey.
Masquerade, you can see all this too.
Okay. So, ghost child that doesn't seem to see us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna holler up the stairs. Anu, what were you following?
An echo?
Was it vaguely ghost-like?
Yes.
Yeah, we got one down here too.
Hey. I don't know. I'm gonna come back downstairs.
Okay. Anu, when you reach the top of the stairs, make an Arcana or Perception roll.
Totally gonna go with perception. Ugh, mistakes were made. 11.
It's enough. You see more rippling air walk through the front door that you guys just came through. And for the briefest glimpse, you see a man with tight curls, full beard. He's really built and wearing armor. And he's got a, like some sort of a pole arm. You can't quite see because the head fades from view and is just rippling air. It might be a glaive, might be a spear, might be something else. And he seems to call up the stairs, but you can't hear what he's saying, but he's clearly mouthing something. And he makes eye contact with you for like all of a second, and then continues going on. Just walking up toward the stairs.
I slow my pace to see if I can hear anything. If he says anything more.
Okay. Make another perception roll. This time you have disadvantage.
Oh, okay. 23.
So you hear him say, "We did it. We staved them off. They won't hurt our children again."
Steven,
Uh-huh.
you had mentioned to Anu that she saw that the figure was human. Could those of us who saw the child tell that it was human?
Yes.
Fuck. I have a very sinking feeling that we are seeing the extent of the encroachment of humans, which would make all of this a horrifying overreaction.
So we don't know what started the war, but it happened.
And I suppose it's still happening out there with those creatures.
Yeah.
I feel like might be best to head back to town and try and get some more context for the bigger picture. We didn't really inquire too much beyond what the immediate issue was.
You would think this would be the kind of thing they would have volunteered.
If what happened is what I think it happened, no, I really don't think it is.
Wait a second.
Do you think that they were somehow involved and maybe we're helping them, the creatures, just, because we didn't ask enough questions?
I think that those creatures out there are an unintended consequence of a drastic overreaction of not liking the new neighbors.
Either that or it's rebellion against colonization. Wouldn't be the first time humans took over a spot that didn't belong to them.
I don't want to belabor the point anew, but if this dwelling and these ghosts are the extent of the colonization, I'm going to ask you to back off that. If we find evidence that it's more than this, fine. But right now, don't.
I'm gonna stay with my point. Wouldn't be the first time my people have been taken over, and you saw that. You were there for it.
I was there for a calculated invasion of a fighting force. What I'm standing in right now is a home, a single family home. And the idea that you would equate those two things really worries me.
Hey, we need more information. All of us need more information, and we don't need to be fighting each other right now.
Let's table this discussion until we know more.
Does anyone have an urchin background or keen mind?
Oh, yes. I have an urchin background.
Okay. Then you can give me an investigation roll.
Yes, but will I roll poorly, as I have been doing all night?
I don't know.
That is the question.
But it is an important roll.
13.
13. This isn't a hard roll to make because it goes with your background. It's right about now that everything starts clicking in your mind, like just like this and this and this and this, and you're just making connections everywhere. The chapel, the weird wooded labyrinth you've been going through, is laid out like a town. Like streetways with branching streets. And you could, in theory, see how that first entryway might have been a town gate.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to share that information with the group. I think that there was probably a town here. I would have to go back outside to just double check and see, but it seems like there was a gate, and now we've got a little home, and, you know, it was just some sort of a little village.
We need to go back and get on top of this. If we are lucky, maybe, wrong word, but maybe we can get some better understanding as to what has happened. I know that they were all very dodgy about the idea that, you know, all saying they didn't know why the healers had left or what happened. If we're fortunate that's true, and what we're dealing with is some people acting an extreme course of action on their own. If we are unlucky, then what they were doing was better known.
Steven, does it look like this place has been here for a long time? Like, how old does this ruin appear to be?
The ruin, it's hard to tell with the plant growth. Give me investigation, arcana, or history. Anyone who wants to can make any of those. Just tell me which one you're doing, because each one will give you different information.
21 investigation.
21 investigation.
I said 23.
Oh, 23 investigation. So
12 on a history.
So the 2 investigations will reveal to you that this ruin is not actually that old. Certainly not nearly as old as the plants would indicate, unless they were grown supernaturally somehow.
Right, which that tracks with everything else we're finding here.
And your roll is high enough. You can also find that as you go out into the town, or the labyrinth, it is a town, and there are other doors of other buildings. They're just buried beneath these interwoven roots and vines and brush. And you can find other buildings, a blacksmith shop, a bakery, all with homes built into them.
Purely selfishly, if we did actually find a blacksmith shop, can I get that door open? Just see what's on hand.
Sure.
I desperately need better weapons.
In fact, this blacksmith shop was making a lot of weapons and armor, specifically glaives, and plate armor.
Oh, it's nice stuff. Doesn't help me, but it is nice stuff.
You realize that it doesn't make sense that these sigils would have been carved into their building sides by them, but that is where those are carved.
Freaking campers. You campers.
And we didn't decipher a specific meaning of the sigils, but at a guess, I'm gonna say these things were what encouraged the rapid growth to just overrun the town. Well, any sign of a general store we can raid while we're here?
In fact, yes. You can resupply, and you can also find an inn.
Should we rest here for the evening? Does it feel safe?
Well, it's safer than out in the woods, certainly.
That's true.
And I'm not opposed to the idea of being well rested before going back to the elves, not knowing what our return reception's gonna be.
So,
I do not.
what's sitting on me right now is the fact that what we found were a description of human sins, which would heavily imply that the elves were not the only ones casting magic here. But humans don't typically do that, so
Not on this scale, certainly.
kind of want to poke around here a little bit more and see what else we can uncover, because that doesn't add up to me.
So do we want to keep looking around and we'll reserve the inn for when we're ready to call it a night?
I think that sounds reasonable. If you guys want to go ahead and turn in, I'll keep looking. I just feel like we're missing something.
Well, do we still have daylight, Stephen?
So it is twilight now, but you were in the middle of the night, so it's just breaking into morning. You've been doing all this at night.
Oh. All right. Well, if we're getting some light, I will continue to look around because I don't have dark vision.
Okay. So as you continue to poke around, give me one more investigation check. I would say perception too, but I already know you're not going to pick that one.
That's a 9.
9.
8.
I had my good rolls in the combat.
Can I
So
do perception?
the thing that kind of sticks in all of your minds, triggered by what Masquerade was piecing together, it refers a lot to things that are often referred to in the human religion, but it does so in Sylvan with elvish context in an elvish sort of grammatical form.
They're trying to hoist them with their own petard.
Which would also explain why it went wrong. This isn't the magic that they're used to wielding.
that why those creatures can eat magic, I guess? Do they just need more and more? Is it, like, I don't know. Did they create a magical hunger with their bad I don't know what they did.
So now I'm wondering if the creatures are elves or human.
Well, we know at least some of them are elves. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all of them are.
Actually, you know what? Hang on. Steven, I just want to pick a random house, not a shop, not a business, a house.
Okay.
I want to go in and I want to, like, I'll put up dancing lights again. I want to see any other, and see if there's any sign of, like, any other ghostliness like we saw in the first one.
Sure. I'm not even going to make you roll anything for it. You can do that easily enough, and you can find that, yes, every building actually has rippling air, and if you get within 5 feet of it, you can see a human that is going about daily tasks without really noticing you.
Nothing about this sits right.
Anu, at this point, you can hear an echo coming from where you first entered. Hello? What have you done?
I'm gonna go back and see.
I'm gonna let Anu go alone. Let's get a look.
All right, so you go and you see a familiar, very pale child with white hair.
Oh, Argent. Would you happen to know what's going on here?
No, what did you do to my forest? This is terrible.
Okay, we didn't do this to your forest. It was like that when we got here.
It's sick again. It's sicker. This is different sick, but sick.
Well, right now we're trying to figure out how to fix that. If you've got any insight for us, that would be much appreciated.
It's sick, like the ruin was sick. It
Arjun,
has a
do you
stench.
do you interact much with the elves around here?
No. We
No.
get along, but they don't need me and I don't need them. Sometimes they bring me treats at a shrine. But I have to be in my wolf form for them to let me take them.
Were you here when this was a village before?
This was a new village about 6 months ago. They fought all the time with the elves. All the time.
The sickness you say you feel now, was that here when the village was here, or is that new now that the village is overgrown?
No, that's new. Also, these plants are very sick. They're not my plants.
Of course not.
These are bad plants. They smell almost like crom, but different.
Arjun, we've encountered something in here, and I'll describe the things that we ran into. Have you ever seen anything like that?
That sounds like something that would be brought about by very old magic.
That's what I was afraid of.
She kind of starts sniffing the vines, almost like a dog would, while just kind of crouching on all fours. I can't go further in here. It's too sick. It will make me sick. I should probably not even be here. I'll probably get sick.
Well, probably best that you not stay around them. We're trying to figure this out.
Be careful. I found a thing for you. I wanted to bring it your way. Maybe you'll have use of it? I'm not sure. And she, holds out to you a bag with a little... The bag is made of leaves that are kind of folded together, and it has like a little grass rope tie around it to close it off. She just kind of like nestles it carefully in your hand, and she gives each of you one of them.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is quite nice.
Those are my better berries.
So I'm just gonna carefully unwrap it and just see what's actually in it.
So, they look like when a druid casts Goodberry, but they're a different color. These ones are a vibrant blue. And each of you has 3. In your little pouch.
I'll write that down.
These were made with old magic. My magic.
They're lovely.
I planted them, well, it must be 100 years ago or something now. But they finally bloomed, and I thought of all of you when I picked them.
Oh, God.
It's very generous of you.
You helped with my forest, and I think that means that you aren't bad people, even though some of you are stupid sometimes. And maybe you can benefit from them. But I should go. I don't want to be sick. And
We don't
I
want
can
you to be
already
sick.
feel it sort of coming on. And you can see as she holds up one of her hands, her nails have already started growing into almost like pointed claws. And you see that her skin is graying a little bit.
Go now. Don't wait. I'll
All
find
right.
you later.
All right. I'll find you later. You smell
Okay.
very strongly and distinctly.
We'll take a shower at some point, but go. Off with you.
And she'll kind of like lope off, and about halfway into her like 4th bound, she just shifts, and there's this smoke that trails behind her as she turns into this wolf, and like a dire wolf, and just lopes away as this giant creature.
I think at the very least, can we agree that we need to make sure she's okay? Because she definitely didn't ask for any of this.
Yes,
Agreed.
I can agree to that.
And all of you now have 3 better berries. They are a lot like good berries. They do work as a full day's worth of food and water, but you also gain the benefits of a long rest when you eat one.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Ugh, I need a long rest myself.
Alright. So we need to do something about these plants. At the very least, we know that they need to come down. We need to do something to cleanse this place of whatever it was that was done here.
I was gonna say set it on fire, but don't know if I trust it not to go out of control with all the magic in here.
Yeah.
I still think we should go see if we can get some more details about this place, and then that might help us formulate a plan for cleaning it up, because I don't suppose that, pruning shears are going to do a whole lot of good here.
I think that's a good plan, and I think that's a good idea, and I think that we would all do well to remember as we go about doing this that finding a place to pin blame is less important than finding a solution to all of this.
well said.
So do we want to take that rest before we head back?
Think so.
Short rest.
I'm going to advocate for a long rest, if for no other reason than it would give me greater restoration back, and I could help somebody else once we get back to the elves.
We did fight some skinny boys.
Okay. So are you guys resting in the inn?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Are any of you eating anything, drinking anything, any of that?
I have that green bread that we got from the shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to prepare it in as an appetizing way as possible. I go into the inn's kitchen, get some plates, cut it up nicely. Can't find any butter, but I do fold the napkins in a. I try to make it look like a swan for everyone, but it just kind of looks like a crumpled mess.
Mm-hmm. In fact, it does strike you as a little weird you can't find butter because this pantry's fully stocked. This looks like it's been sitting for maybe a week.
That's bizarre. I'm going to take some items from the pantry. Do I see anything that I think would be delightful? Any jams?
You can
Roll for
find
jam.
4 varieties of jams.
Okay. I'm going to set those out as well. And then anything I see that I think could fit in an apron pocket for later,
You
I'm
find
going to
7
stash.
cheese wheels,
Oh my god, those aren't going to fit in pockets, but I'm going to bring one out as well.
23 sausages, like just straight up summer sausages,
Oh, nice.
and a dozen wheels of hardtack.
Okay, I'm going to
So,
put some
like,
of those in my...
It's really stocked. There's vegetables, there's potatoes. The potatoes do have eyes on them, so like they've been sitting for maybe longer than a week.
I'm going to put out a delightful spread for everyone.
Okay, but you can make
With
a
my
very
napkins.
delightful spread very easily. And while it's pitch dark in here because all the windows have been cut off by the vines and the bark and whatnot, you can make yourselves a very tasty meal.
No candles?
You can light candles.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do
I
that.
kind of want roll for jam on a shirt now.
Roll for jam.
Roll for jam. I mean, I did roll for jam. I rolled
Yeah.
a d6 to see how many types of jam.
Nim would like to see if there's any wine or spirits or anything because she knows her friends have had a
yes.
rough time.
Oh yes, there's so many. There are, well, maybe less many than I thought. There are 3 varieties.
Okay, Nim's gonna bring those out with, just whatever sort of vessels she can find.
Okay, so there are steins with like lids that kind of clasp with when you do that number, and there is a house brewed beer, and there's actually a brewing an entire brewery in the back that still works and has a batch going. You also find some wine. It's not the nicest wine. It's cheap. It's red. It gets the job done. And then you find this really
there.
strong moonshine type stuff.
I'm going to bring out some wine and beer for sure, and then I will mention to Wisp. I believe there is a beverage in there that might intrigue you. I'm not making any judgments. I'm just saying I smelled it and I almost passed out, so I think you might enjoy.
That sounds lovely. I am going to retrieve that.
Okay. Yeah, there are 7 bottles of it.
Roll for
I'll just
moonshine.
take one. I'll just take the one.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'll take the one and I'll pack one.
Okay.
So adding bottle of moonshine to my inventory.
So as long as all of you can deal with the rippling air sitting at different tables at different times and the rippling air that moves around as a barmaid, you can pretty safely and comfortably dine and rest and whatever here.
All right.
I'm just gonna trance up in the rafters so I don't.
Everyone can make a perception roll at disadvantage while you are resting.
That's a joke with me. 3.
12.
14.
16.
Masquerade, you've been asleep for, well, it's hard to tell. It's so dark in here. But you do hear downstairs from where you are resting in a bed. And just the latch.
I imagine that Mask is a very light sleeper.
Okay.
So that happens. I'm bolt upright and like just kind of moving around to go see what that's about.
Okay. So you go to the top of the stairs, and the door that you guys came in is closed at this point.
I mean, did we not close
It
when we
is
came in?
pitch dark in here, so I'm assuming you have a lantern or a candle or something, otherwise you can't even see that.
Dancing lights is a cantrip.
Okay, yeah, so you've got your dancing lights up, and you can see that the door is closed now. The front door is.
Did we not close it on the way in?
I'm assuming you didn't. You didn't say you did.
I think that it's normal and reasonable to close the door when you enter a building when you don't want to be walked in on or caught by wild animals. I don't feel like that's something that like that seems like the default to me. I don't.
Okay. So do with that information what you will.
Well, I mean, like I heard the door creak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna look around the building and see if I can find anybody on the inside.
Make an investigation check.
It was
14.
almost absurdly high. I almost rolled a 19 on the die and then it tilted over at the last second.
So, you can pretty confidently assume nobody and nothing is in here except for the echo ghosts, whatever you're calling them now.
Okay, and all of us are here.
As far as you can find, you see, you can ask your companion, you can ask your players how they sleep, where they're at, where they're trancing.
Do go on.
So, any of you can describe what is going on with you.
I would have found a room with a bed. I would have left the door open just in case I needed to get up and bolt out as quickly as possible, but just would have conked out.
Mm-hmm. Nim would have found a room with a bed. If it had a bathtub in it, she would have covered it with something just from past experience with the hag. Even though she knows it defeated it, she doesn't like bathtubs anymore. And then she would have found a bed. She would have just laid down and gone to bed.
Okay.
I'm up in the rafters trancing.
Okay, well, Anu, you're the one that I'm trying to wake up. So, as you're transing up in the rafters, you're gonna get acorns lobbed at you from down below.
You okay, SENITA?
Yeah.
So sorry. You can feel Anu. This place is charged with energy. Like, if you had a past life here, you'd absolutely be triggering a vision. But apparently none of your past lives have really interacted with this location. That being said, you feel acorns. Kind of, one pops you in the cheek a little bit.
Anu!
Am I able to just easily come out of a trance?
Yeah, you can just come out of your trance if you want at will.
Alright. I do. You can obviously hear the whispering.
There was someone here.
Okay.
Either that or the building is settling, and I thought there was someone here. But to be perfectly honest with you, I'm a little spooked, and Wisp would make fun of me if they knew that, and I just kind of don't want to tell Nim.
Does any of my passive abilities help?
You have a really high passive perception, and you remain aware even when you're trancing. So I'm gonna say you know pretty confidently that no one else is in here except for the echo ghosts.
No one's in here, but would I have felt the door open and close?
Yeah. Well, it didn't open. If you guys left it closed, it just creaked. If you did leave it open, then it closed.
I think... I think we're being... How do I explain? I don't want to say tested, but tested by the magic around here. It is high. Like if this was alcohol, we'd be swimming drunk.
All right then. Do you suppose maybe one of the ghosts did it?
Possibly. You want to do some investigating?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably best to wake the others if we're going to.
Have we gone through a full night's rest, or?
I'm gonna say yes. You guys have gotten your full rest.
Okay.
Cool. Then we'll wake them all up.
Excellent.
I think I'm gonna wake up Nim, and I'm gonna do it by taking the acorns and sitting on the bathtub, and then throwing them at her.
Okay. So, Nim, you find an acorn bops you in the nose.
And then I look over towards the bathtub. Oh, it's... Whew, okay, it's a new. Okay.
You see a pair of glowing blue eyes staring back at you.
Why? The bathtub? Really? You know, I don't... I am a shower girl henceforth. This is not okay.
I'm sorry.
I feel as if you are not sorry, and you're probably going to do it again in the future. But I will accept your apology for now. Is there any reason why you're waking me up with acorns?
There might be a more active echo
What?
than the previous ones.
Oh, okay. I guess we should probably get up. All right. So Nim gets out of bed and ties on her apron.
Okay. So, tie on your apron. You guys look around. Everyone give me an investigation roll. Love my investigation checks.
14.
24.
17.
Oh, there it is. I thought I was losing my mind. I'm like, I don't see that. 17.
Okay. Nim. You find 2 gold pieces in a drawer. Wisp.
Hmm.
You find a used but still very serviceable silvered dagger.
Same stats as the one I have, or different?
Just a basic silvered dagger.
Okay, so same then.
And Anu, you find a quill, but there's no inkwell around it, yet it is right next to a half-written letter.
Can I read the letter?
Yeah. The letter seems to be a fumbling attempt at a poem for a a very attractive young woman, apparently, with bosoms like 2 honey melons, but less heavy because honey melons are very heavy, quote unquote.
Okay, tell me that you're a virgin without telling me you're a virgin.
No bitches.
But you do notice there's what looks like a locked book beside the letter, and the ink for the quill seems to just drip from the quill.
I'm gonna pick the lock.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. And you find a simple wizard's spellbook.
Oh yay!
It looks like this person was practicing up to first level spells.
Do I get to know what all the spells are?
Yes. So they have Mage Hand. They have Prestidigitation. They have Mending. These are their cantrips. And then for first level spells, there is Detect Magic, Identify. There is Charm Person. There is Mage Armor.
Ooh.
There is I'm looking to see. It has False Life, and it has Shield.
I'm gonna keep this.
So just so you're aware, a homebrew rule for this particular setting is that if you have a wizard spellbook and you are an arcane spellcaster, you can cast the spells, but you must make a successful Arcana check with the DC equal to 13 plus the spell's level. So you can cast spells you don't know.
Okay. My Arcana is +6, but I'm not. It's not in one of my proficiency thingies on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever.
You also see several study notes for I'm trying to find it here. You find several study notes for invisibility, but it seems like this person is not even close to that right now.
Well, I'm gonna keep the notes. Might be useful
Okay.
down the line.
So yeah, Masquerade, meanwhile, you rolled so high, you find the skeleton key to this inn. The master key. You also, just offhandedly because you think it's probably a good idea, check the front door, and you find that it doesn't open.
Like it's locked, or just that it doesn't open at all?
Like it's not locked, but it's almost like it's barricaded shut.
Can I send one of my lights through the keyhole and see if there's vines blocking the other side?
Well, you do put your light into the keyhole where you see there is in fact a vine sticking into the lock.
Uh-huh, that's what I thought.
So.
Firebolt.
Okay, you firebolt that vine. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me to see just how much damage you do and how controlled it is.
This was not a smart decision.
It wasn't me this
16
time.
to hit.
You got a what?
16 to hit.
Okay.
And 13 damage.
Okay, so you actually blow a chunk. You manage to get the firebolt to just shoot through the lock, and once it gets out near the door, and you feel that there's a whole python's worth of vine that just sort of thumps outside.
Can I open the door now?
Nope, it's still barricaded shut, but it's easier to push now.
Yeah, so I think the plants hate us.
I knew we should have set him on fire.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would have endeared us anymore to it.
Ill? What if, so I hate to do this to you, Wisp, but we found that moonshine. Would it, I know that the fire wouldn't endear us to it, but what if, we maybe doused the door and then somebody fire bolted it? Or, we've got matches as well, I guess, but I don't know. I defer to everyone else's expertise, as this is my first time really adventuring, and all of you were, quite the experts on destruction and chaos, it seems sometimes. I mean that in the nicest of ways. I'm just saying that I'm trying to, encourage, I want to help when it comes to chaos and such, and I feel like maybe some moonshine and fire would do it, but, if that seems like a bad idea, I don't know.
Maybe we could use the cheap wine.
Oh, there's extra bottles of the moonshine. I'll go get one from the pantry.
Okay.
Wait, you're going to do my idea? Oh dear. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Okay.
So anyone who wants to can do an investigation roll real quick.
12.
14.
21.
16.
So, Nim, as Wisp is acquiescing in the most surprising turn of events, it dawns on you that you guys are currently trapped in a building that's overgrown with vines to the point there aren't any windows. There's not a lot of airflow. And starting a fire might lead to suffocation from smoke inhalation if you were to start a fire and not be able to break through the door readily and immediately.
I share that information, but also say, but we could try a window.
Hang on a second here. Steven.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to do earth tremor at like the base of where the door is, how impactful would that be in terms of at least loosening the grip of these plants, if not breaking them up?
Make a nature check.
I don't know what my plus is on that one. Let's see. Nature. 23.
23. Yeah, you could probably get them to at least uproot and have enough give to be able to brute force the door open if you cast it right there.
Let's try that then.
Okay. So you can describe how you want it to look or what you think it would do.
So, as is my more standard for this move, little spin, drop down, kind of punch the ground near it. There is a ripple from my point of impact to where I'm having it actually hit, at which point that part just shakes and dislodges.
Okay. So when you do that, you hear this breaking of stone on the opposite side as well. And then you can make an athletics check to try to open the door.
We
Cool.
should all attack the door.
Well, let me do it first.
If you would rather not use athletics because you are a fawn, you can use your headbutt if you want.
I was going to say, can I charge the door?
Yes, you can.
I want to charge the door. So would that be an attack roll then?
You,
or
in
what
fact,
would-
get advantage on your attack roll.
Okay, then. That is not amazing. That is 13.
That's exactly what you need to break the door open.
Nice.
So, meets beats. And you break the door open, and you see that there were, in fact, several vines and woody roots that had grown over the doorway already within that short time. And what's more, they start growing again immediately and kind of
Now can
pulling
we-
so that the door looks like it's starting to close already.
Okay.
Everybody
Can we set them
out!
on fire?
Just get out.
Just get out.
Nim sprints.
Okay. So all of you guys can make it out pretty easily.
I love the example given.
Nim just does like the most flat-footed run though, so it's like.
It is actually dusk at this point because you guys got your full rest.
Yeah.
And so it's just getting to be nighttime again. Yeah.
All right. Let's. I feel very unwelcome in literally every part of this forest at this point, but let's head back to the elves.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Do we see maybe any sort of cart nearby, like, or is there like maybe some stables or like a barn that would house a cart? I guess it wouldn't be called a garage, but
So you realize that a lot of the lumps and divots that are in these roots and vines and stuff are just buried things.
mhm.
So
Can I?
yeah, you can try to find one.
I mean, Nim investigates the immediate area, kind of outside the inn. But if there's not one, she won't belabor the point.
You find one, but it's going to require athletics or some other solution to dislodge it from the
I have
overgrowth.
athletics.
As do I.
All right, team, here's my thought. My good friend Steve could get us back to the Elven village probably pretty quickly and, save us some energy if we wanted to. But we're going to need a cart, and we have one here. I just, I don't want to, ask you to headbutt more things, Wisp, unless you want to. Or, Anu, if, you could strategically shoot a vine with a crossbow, or, I don't know, whatever has to be done.
Or we could just try and break the vines off it.
I mean, I'm just spitballing here. You tell me. I find the cart and you dislodge the cart. It's teamwork.
Athletics roll, you said, Stephen?
Yes. You can either both make a roll or one of you can make it with advantage. You guys pick.
What's your proficiency on that, Anu?
6.
You just take it then, because mine's 4, so.
So Wisp and Anu doing it together gives Anu advantage. Wisp is kind of trying to find those key points that seem to be the weakest to kind of get the most bang for your buck of tearing the vines away.
I got an 11. It was so close to an 18.
11, so close to an 18, does not cut it. Anu's just really struggling to listen to you, Wisp. Like, you point out a spot and she grabs a spot that's like really close but not quite there and ends up making it worse.
I just want to set it on fire.
It would burn the cart as
No.
well.
I know. We need some big scissors.
I mean, unless we just want to try rolling again, make a second go at it.
Okay. Nat 20.
Nat
Yeah.
20, okay.
There it is.
So you're like, no, I got them stuck together on purpose. And then you pull one vine and the whole thing comes up like a sheet. Just like a big old blanket of vines. And in fact, I will let you just have a blanket of vines now that can fully obscure your cart if you want.
Yay!
I like it.
Show off.
All right. I pull the Steve bells from my apron and jingle them.
Okay. So, when you jingle these bells,
Oh,
right?
shit.
You hear the ethereal jingle. Wisp, Masquerade, and Anu, being arcane spellcasters, recognize this doesn't sound normal. It sounds distorted. When
What have you done to my
jingle
boy,
the bells
Steven?
Just a little bit. And you see that where Steve normally would be, there is a creature that looks almost like if you took a horse and a wolf and combined them together. And it's got this really long horse snout, but it's actually like a crocodile mouth that opens up with these wolf fangs. And it looks at you with these 6 eyes.
It's too many.
And any of the arcane spellcasters can make an arcana roll if you want to see kind of what's going on here.
That is a 25.
Oh, I got an 8.
Wisp, this is part of that really, really old magic that your people whisper about. That's kind of like hag magic, but appropriated by mortals. This place is so sick, it warps any magic that is cast in it that has come from an item or something that can be corrupted. You're guessing just by virtue of the bells being in the area long enough, it distorted what they do.
Just based off my knowledge, is that going to be a permanent issue or just a while we're in the area issue?
You're going to have to use a restoration spell or remove curse to get it fixed.
Well, I can do that later. Nim, I think you should send Steve back. I can try and fix this later.
I'm sorry, my boy. Uh-oh.
So, in fact, you don't get to dismiss him because he turns to you with saliva just pouring from his mouth. And I'm going to need all of you to roll initiative.
You can't make us kill Steve. That's terrible.
If you kill Steve, he goes back in the bells.
Steven, are we starting a combat like right when we're supposed to be stopping
That's
again?
why we are stopping right now, yes. So, yeah, when we come back, it's initiative. And you guys are going to be fighting corrupted Steve.
Don't make me old yeller, my boy, Steven.
I mean, he'll go back in the bells if you do. But yeah, that's where we're leaving it. So,
You're a cruel man.
thank you all so much for joining in this lovely time of watching all of us play together and see Steve get corrupted. Thank you to my wonderful players. You guys are amazing. You threw me for some loops that I did not expect. It's pretty great. And until next time, everybody, tell your story your way. Be good to each other. Bye.